So this is the Park.District of Grange regular board meeting for August. We do a roll call. It's 6:01.
Commissioner Posey?
Here.
Commissioner Weber? Commissioner Carter?
Here.
Commissioner Veer?
Here.
President Opid.
Any changes or announcements?
Yeah, I just wanted to make one announcement. Next month at our September 8th board meeting, we will have a BINA hearing regarding the sale of our 2025 general obligation bonds. This is something we do every year, but I just wanted to make that announcement that public hearing will happen at our next meeting.
Jenny, is that meeting here?
Here.
And the October meeting is at the community center?
Yes, and we're going to have to determine, based on construction, if we can have it at community center. So we'll keep the board posted.
Thanks.
Yes.
This time of year, I'm always wondering.
I know. You can always look at your agenda. Your agenda always says where it is. So just to double check. Normally, if it's a community center, I text you.
You do.
Right, you're very good at that.
Just to remind you.
I do look at the agenda.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, I know.
Stage right when I'm in the
Not a month ahead. All right, so if there's no other announcements or changes, we're at 2.0. It's time for the public comments. If anybody would like to make a comment, please stand up, state your name and your address. Anyone?
Hi, it's me again. Marty Kalick, Riverside resident, AOSLSO secretary, AOSLSO 300 secretary. Just a few things I want to mention. AOSLSO 300, we're in the final planning stages of setting our schedule and getting final registrations for this upcoming season. I don't have final numbers for it yet, but I've been told it's going to be similar to last season, so about 950 to 1,000 Grange children will be playing in our league. So,
Wait, can you repeat that number?
950 to 1,000 kids. Yeah. So,
It sounded like 950,000.
yeah. So again, 950 to 1,000. So that's good. Some of the things I just want to mention that I'd like to Derek before this meeting. One is I know we got we received the AOSLAD grant, and whether we could be a co-signer or just add in
A letter of support.
a letter of support. So he's going to follow up with that, and we don't have an issue with that. Obviously, just there's one minor comment if you could address it, that I don't think the multi-purpose field was really called out. I think some of the other items were called out in there, like the volleyball and whatnot. So just making sure that that's not being overlooked. And then flag football, we, as a general consensus with all the other sports, we want to be collaborative. We want to make sure all the sports are getting into the ability to use the fields, but we just want to make sure that just kind of not just state that it is being. There is a squeeze we feel, but again, I think that's with any on all sports. There's always just room for always fight for just not a fight, but there's always space constraints. So there's just something that Derek just wanted us to just kind of mention out there. And other than that, again, we're ready for an exciting season to come up here starting in fall. So we're all really excited. So thank you very much.
Thanks.
Any others?
I'll just say really quickly that the annual Unity Rally of the Grange.
State your name and
Oh, sorry. Becky Lorenson, also a member of Community Diversity Group. And just a reminder that the annual Unity Rally will be September 14th at Village Hall. And I'll get you a flyer. Thank you.
Thanks.
more comments? No. Thank you. Let's see here. So I think the consent agenda, we can only go for approval of the financial report dated July 31st, 2025, and the approval of the consolidated vouchers for August dated August 11th, 2025. Could I get a motion to approve?
Second.
Commissioner Carter?
Aye.
Commissioner Posey?
Yes.
Commissioner Veer?
Yes. And director's reports now.
Yep. So just a few things to add. First of all, I put tons of pictures in my report about with all the projects, so hopefully you had a chance to take a peruse at those. TSC is continuing to progress with their testing at Sedgwick. They found similar results as the first testing, and no volatiles were detected. So capping remains the recommended direction for the site. TSC and White Company will be attending our next meeting to present the results, and White will address the plans and then drainage, because we know that drainage has been asked about several times. So they will be here next meeting. Wyola Park, we have a tentative soft opening with the fence coming down 8/27, which is very exciting, so ahead of schedule. And we're looking to do the grand opening on Wednesday, September 3rd at 4 p.m., so I'll send that out in an email. So hopefully you can all make it, but we're looking forward to getting that park open. It could be a little bit earlier than 8/27 if they can get the contractor out. So we can get that punch list finished. But 8/27 right now is the projected date. And then I just wanted to make sure that the board saw in my report about the handball and the shelter at Gordon that we're going to move in a different direction. We're going to eliminate the Gordon small pavilion that was going to be put on the side. And then I put a picture of kind of what it will look like over the asphalt right in front of the handball. We feel like that would be a better solution because we still need the asphalt for special events and different programming. And this way we can take down the tent here if we needed to.
Are you talking about this
Yes.
photo here? Okay.
Yes. So right in front of the handball courts where those bleachers are,
Yeah.
that will go over that. Instead of putting the pavilion, we were going to put it to the side. And there was some concern by the handball group that they couldn't see the games. They want to see the games. So this is a better alternative. It's actually a little bit cheaper of a cost too than even relocating it.
So there won't be the stands there, like the bleachers?
The bleachers will still remain. This will
Okay.
just be the tent over it.
Got it. Okay.
Can you sell the structure?
I don't know.
Can you offer it to a group that?
I have it on the surplus list tonight,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, or
we're
charity
going
or
to
something.
see. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of pieces
Yeah, it's
to take apart and put back together.
people will do it.
I know. So but it is on the surplus list tonight.
Yeah,
So
I think this is a great idea.
So good. So the handball, I did briefly exchange emails with Mike from the handball group, and he was excited about it too. So that is the direction we're moving.
One question. So is it a cloth? Is it a plastic? The covering?
It's like a
Like a netting or a mesh.
not a mesh, but it's like a. I'd have to get. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to get it, but it's like a silky. Like I can't. Can you think of what it would be?
The canvas?
Yeah,
It's kind of meshy, but it's more
it's
like
solid.
canvas mesh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we might get 5 years out of it or something, and then you can
5 to
replace
7.
it.
A
Yeah,
long
that's
time,
fine. Yeah,
Especially if we take it down each
Yeah.
season.
yeah.
It will be taken down. It won't be left off year round.
What about Christmas time?
You guys, always something.
No, it's fine. It's good.
So, and that's all I have. I'm happy to answer any questions.
No questions?
No questions for
Okay.
me.
Staff reports. Looks like we're starting with Kevin.
Jamie.
Jamie, sorry, Jamie.
Okay. I don't have a whole
turned the
lot to
page.
report. The only thing I wanted to point out is that the audit, I've been working with our auditors. We've passed second draft stage and we're now in final writing. So it will be finalized and ready to present at next month's board meeting.
Great. Now it's Kevin. Any questions?
Fall registration opened last Wednesday for residents. Non-resident registration starts this Wednesday. Fall is a little bit slower right now, just with last minute vacations, back to school planning. But we usually see that early in August. It'll start ticking up right when school starts, and then into Labor Day week.
Summer camp ended this past Friday, so we had a nice season. Staff got everything back to the rec center, so we were busy going through all of that, cleaning it up. Surveys went out to families on Friday. As of 10 a.m. this morning, we had 24 responses to that survey. Staff are planning for the base and preschool school year. So all preschool staff are hired. They start training on Friday. And then for the base program, we have 18 staff hired. We still are looking to hire at a minimum 3 open slots, and then up to 6 or 7 more just for some additional coverage for the different sites. And then we are wrapping up first round interviews for the base and camp supervisor on Wednesday. And then we will start second round interviews next week for that, with the hope of somewhere around 9/8 for a start date for that position. And in addition to that, our athletic supervisor, Liam Seiss, will start interviews for the basketball coordinator position that we have put in the budget. That will start next week. It is a part-time IMRF position. So our intent is to have that position start the week of 9/15.
Questions? Comments?
Okay.
Mike?
Good evening, everybody. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on the Grange Fitness and then also some of the facility projects we have coming up. So to highlight just one of our summer promotions, we offered a 60 and a 90-day student pass at the Grange Fitness. That ended on July 31st was the last day you could buy one of those, and we had 201 people sign up for either of those passes. So we're very excited about that. And then looking ahead for fitness as well, we are going to roll out a new group fitness schedule on September 1. So we've got that finalized and should have it maybe published by the end of the week at the latest. And then as far as facility projects, we do have our annual floor cleaning and waxing and stripping of the different rooms in the facility here. That's going to take place next weekend. The facility will be closed on Saturday and Sunday as they work through that, since they will be shampooing the carpets and then waxing and stripping some of the floors in all the common areas and program rooms as well. Questions?
I do have a question. Have we ever thought about having off-season group training for the different sports affiliates? Like baseball, I know we've got White Sox, but I'm just thinking because it's really competitive to try to get on a high school team, and a lot of the players are playing club, but they're also now, as I mentioned last time, there's a cottage industry of training, like personal training. I'm not suggesting that we consider that, but it did occur to me that a lot of these players are looking for more training once their season ends, and that could be a revenue source for the park district. I don't know if that's ever been explored or even on the table, but it might be something worthwhile looking into.
Yeah, it's something that could certainly be looked at. Kids these days with sports, and a lot of times they train year round for those things. Even on the off season, it's kind of still train for that. So that's something we could look into if it's sports specific training. We do have trainers on staff. It's something we could look to see as feasible.
For that student summer special, I mean, my kids enjoyed that a lot. They thought it worked out great as far as pricing and everything. Is that 201? Is that an increase from the past, or is that about the same? Or
from like previous years,
yeah.
That 201 that we had, I would have to look back. I believe it was an increase if I remember looking at it just to see, but I can get exact numbers for you next time.
Yeah. Thank you. Everybody?
Larry.
Oh, Larry. I'm not good at that. Out of practice.
I know. You're doing great.
Hello. I don't have much to add tonight, but we do have several parks under construction. Right now, if you're on the boat and you stop by Spring, there's some motion going on over there. It's starting to shape up. Any questions?
What do you mean by that?
By starting to shape up, there's some structures going on.
Okay.
They're putting the playground in.
Oh, okay. That is pretty exciting, actually.
Yeah, it is. The first time they told me they started, and I went over and it was like one piece, and I'm like, this is nothing.
Yeah. I know people were excited at Wyola when that went up.
Mm-hmm.
That changed things a lot.
Yeah, and just to remind the public and the board, so right now, Rotary is closed for construction, Community Center is closed for construction, Spring is closed, Elm is partially closed, the playground is still open, but the basketball court is blocked off. And then Denning and Gordon, we are still waiting on the MWRD permit, so construction has not started. They're hoping to start those next week, but I don't know. I'll have another update Wednesday, so check your Friday updates and check the website. We've been trying to keep that up to date. So just keep in mind, and Wyola obviously is still closed. So we do have a lot of parks under construction, but again, it's all for good, and we hope to have them open soon.
Any other questions for Larry? So action items, discussion and or approval of the updated OSLAD site plan, rain garden addition.
Yeah. So as we keep getting the determination letters back from MWRD, so this is the current, up on the screen, I put it up here for the public to see, is the current OSLAD grant at Sedgwick. So again, we're applying for it. If we don't get the OSLAD grant, we're still moving forward with everything, but again, we're just trying to get some support funding for the project. So everything in red is what would be added in the OSLAD grant. So the addition of this path around the soccer field, that is an addition. The soccer field is still there, but these other pieces that we're doing, the baseball field, the soccer field, those aren't part of the OSLAD grant, but they're part of the overall project. So we had a pollinator garden over here, if you can see my cursor, and we needed more stormwater management. And so we looked at it and came up with putting here, so this is the baseball field. So if I go back to the other one, oops, sorry. Talking right in this area right here, which is an area that stays pretty wet when it rains. So looking to put in a larger rain garden and pollinator garden, and it would have this nice boardwalk with seating. It would be under 30 inches off the ground, so it would be relatively low, and then there would be a fence around it. Let's say it right though. It's a timber round rail fence. So it would go around of it to help prevent balls from going in and then people from going in as well. But we think it's a great addition. We think it's really a neat amenity. So we'd like to propose that instead of the small pollinator garden that was proposed in the original.
Better areas for our sons.
Yes, yes.
So we're swapping out on this the little upside down L shape with the triangular format.
Yes, the path will still be there,
Just not the garden.
just not the
Yeah.
pollinator garden.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
I'm good use of that space.
I do too.
I think so too. Yeah, I like it.
So we would just need, I think I have a motion on there.
I move to approve the updated OSLAD site plan, rain garden petition, action item 5.1.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Veer. I keep
Yes.
wanting to say president.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so 3.2, approval of the financial report. No? No,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
5.2, discussion and approval of the resolution R25-03, a resolution declaring surplus property.
Yep, so we're just going through, we're getting rid of some things based on the project plan. So you can see on the last page of this memo section, there's a list of items that we're going to be, which is on the surplus list. We do want to add one item. We want to add a stairmaster that broke last year that we forgot to put on it. So that will be added to this list, a stairmaster. But we're happy to answer any questions.
So the playgrounds, are you giving those to charity?
Some of them are, 2 of them are, one of them could not be, and I'd have to go back and look, but 2 of them,
Yeah,
Rotary is, and then I want to say Gilbert. I don't think Spring could be captured. So, and while it is in the plans, which should cover it, we just are putting it on here for pure transparency.
And I see the Gordon shelter there as well.
I put it on there, yeah.
I move to approve resolution R 25-03, a resolution declaring surplus property.
Second.
Commissioner Posey,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter,
Aye.
Commissioner Veer.
Yes. Okay, the next one is a discussion on approval of facilities license agreement with the Catholic Bishop of Chicago at St. Francis Xavier Base Site.
Yes, so this is a standard memo or a standard agreement every year with SFX. And unfortunately, we didn't get the actual agreement, but we have the term sheet, and then they make the agreement out of this term sheet. And the only change is increasing from $300 per month to $400 per month. And Kevin and I are happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
So for this one, we are looking for a motion to approve the Catholic Bishop term sheet with final agreement approval by the Executive Director and Legal Counsel.
So moved.
Perfect.
Second.
Okay. Commissioner Posey?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
Commissioner Veer?
Yes.
That's it.
No old business, no new business? For the Administration Committee, I do not have a report. Parks and Facilities,
I don't have a report.
no report. And Recreation and Cultural Programming Committee,
No report.
back to public council. Well done. We won't have any executive session.
No.
So now's the time for public comments again. If anybody would like to speak, please again state your name and address.
Rose Steve 911 Southstone. I just want to propose Friends of the Park District or volunteer for maybe to help with some native plantings. People approach me all the time and are looking to do, to help, support the pollinator gardens and native plants. Even if we could do more at this facility, I think there's an opportunity there. So just asking you to consider that.
Thank you.
The others?
Carla Carter, 62 Dover. I was just wondering, when is Gilbert, construction in Gilbert going to start?
Gilbert and Sedgwick are 2026 projects, so in the spring of 2026.
No others. Okay. Now it's time for the board comments. Do you have some comments, please?
I have no comments.
My comment tonight is to just acknowledge the massive undertaking of being project manager for all of these different projects that are happening in the park, in all of the parks, literally all the parks. And how exciting it is to see photographs and to hear from the public. I'm friends with little kids, bigger kids, teenagers, and they all are excited to see the change in the park. And I think that's a really exciting thing to do. If you've ever done a home renovation, it is brutal the first phase, and it's so satisfying to see progress. So bravo to everyone on staff and Jenny at the head of it.
I'll do that. But you done?
Yes.
So I want to make a few comments. We were talking earlier today about the Little League State Tournament. I live nearby there. I thought it was phenomenal. It's the first time we've had that, I'm sure.
No.
At Sedgwick, the state tournament.
No, we've had it before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was really cool to see all the teams come in and the players get all excited. And the groundskeepers between the Park District and the Little League, it was the weekend we had 2 torrential downpours. And, the way they got the games in and in that kind of condition was just amazing to me. And I think kudos go to all the above before mentioned. The other thing I want to mention is the Gurry has a running team that uses the track there. And it just brings me back to my old days when I used to bike to Little League.
Oh, at Sedgwick.
At Sedgwick.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And there was like 50 bikes, they all biked there. And then all the runners go around for about an hour or something like that. And then it's gone. It's just really neat to see that people, and I think we need more bike racks. And as far as the Friends of the Park, a formal, we've tried this before. Jenny, I think you tried it. I'm not sure what it was called. But a formal one is hard to do.
I think that was a foundation.
Yeah, it's
which is
different.
Yeah.
Okay, so Friends of the Park is be that informal type of thing, and I like it. And I like your ideas. And I was actually thinking, in front of here, we have like a wasteland that I've brought up to you before. That maybe that could be an area they could use.
Yeah.
But that's all I have.
Yeah, we pushed the landscaping company to come back out because it was so hot.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to come in August.
Okay.
So we're still working
But
on that.
they could do that, because that's an unused spot kind of right now.
Are you
right?
talking about
The grass, so-called grass.
Mhm. it like past the parking lot?
Past the parking lot
Okay.
to the east of
Yes.
the retention,
Yeah.
detention.
Yeah. Okay.
That might be an idea.
Mhm.
That's all I have. I think we're done.
I think we're done.
I get a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.